situation going on now.
Yeah, it'll flow like a real podcast show.
I even decorated my shelving back there.
So we're super excited, and we're about to pop this champagne and get started. Please watch the thumb. Woo! You know, you can just fill her up. Okay, that's good.
You told me to fill her up.
Oh my gosh.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to our first and our brand new podcast, Sips of Success. I'm Cameron, and this is my wife,
Erin.
How are we doing today?
Good. I'm so excited.
Let's get this cheers going.
Cheers. What are we sipping on?
This is some champagne. It's nothing like the first episode or a celebration just for life, health, wealth, and overall success.
Yeah.
So we are sipping on a little bit of Moet is sitting back there behind me.
Yep. Got a little bubbles. And we are really excited because we have been doing something similar for a while. And I think we just wanted to really
tighten up
through things and, you know, make sure that this is a true reflection of us. And we felt like just doing a little rebrand and refresh was going to be the thing that we needed to do. So,
yeah. First things first, let's just have a quick, I guess, what's been happening this year.
Yeah, a little update.
All right, so as Erin said, we had done something like this before. I wanted to do something like this before, but it just wasn't a great reflection. And over the course of the summer, I injured myself, so I had plenty of time to kind of put a business plan together on what I saw this doing, but also what we saw this doing. And now we're here. So I tore a tendon in my hand this summer. So I was out the entire summer, which I guess in a grand scheme for this particular part is I guess it's a good thing in a way. I don't know.
There's always a silver lining, although it just wasn't ideal.
At all. It wasn't. So that happened. What else? What else happened?
That's about it.
All right, well.
That took a big chunk of our energy and time because, no, I feel like the injury definitely sucked up a lot of our energy. So, I mean, lately we've been doing some travel. We just had our 3rd anniversary. Mm-hmm. So, you know, life has been good, even amongst the little hiccups that we experienced. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much that's like the biggest thing. You've been in physical therapy every week. I mean, I'm there. Doctor's appointments, just trying to like make sure things are on track. I'm like
75%, but I'm all good. I ain't even tripping. If this is what it's gonna be, this is what it's gonna be. Like, I still gotta make a way through life. So yeah. Speaking of anniversaries, I got a question. Mm-hmm. This or that?
Okay.
So typically. We typically travel for our anniversary. I think 3 anniversaries we had.
No, not our second.
What did
not
we do
last
for the
year.
One?
We got Ronin sushi and had a date night in.
Okay. So because we typically, I guess 2 out of 3 we traveled and 1 we just kind of chilled at home. But, you know, it's all a date. It's all one big date. So this or that. Would you rather, I guess not you because you're not dating anymore. She's definitely off the market. But ladies or gentlemen. Would you rather go on a great date with a dud, as Erin would call it, I would just say a scrub, or would you rather go on like I guess what someone would consider an average, regular, I don't know, a coffee date or something like that? I think that's pretty cool, but I guess that's simple. I guess money isn't spent. So what would you rather do, this or that?
Okay, so either a person that I don't have great chemistry with, but the date is amazing. Yeah. Like the actual experience is amazing. Yeah. Okay. Is the experience thoughtful? Is it something that is it like an expensive restaurant?
No,
or is it like
it's whatever
helicopter ride over the city?
I mean, that's crazy for a first date or just like early date, but it could be. I don't know, depending on who you're dealing with.
And then like, with the coffee date, is this like...
But I feel like you're asking too many questions. You're trying to get like the little details. Because
Okay. I would personally, just off of the surface level, good date or bad chemistry versus bad, or not bad, but like very average date with great chemistry, I would always pick the great chemistry. Because I feel like a lot of women, I've seen it a lot on social media of sharing like how to get a guy to spend more on you on a date.
Yeah.
That has never really been my thing in general. Like, do I want to go on nice dates? Yes, but I do also think that can be built upon.
Mm-hmm.
And chemistry is harder to build to me than finances. So if it's a matter of somebody is taking me on a coffee date because he can't afford to take me out, or if it's because he simply wants to get to know me before investing a certain amount of money into me, I'm okay with that. I feel like there are other signs that I can tell if somebody is able to potentially provide for me financially through other things. Like, I'm going to look at what shoes you have on. I'm going to look at how you carry yourself. Is your hair like lined up, or are you out here roughing it? Like, those are like little things that I pay attention to. Do you wear a nice watch? Like, how do your clothes fit you? Like, to me, those things also speak to that. So I would pick the coffee date where our chemistry is like fire, because I would be more curious to see where it goes.
It goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
I mean, I guess I'd be the one initiating the date just because that's what.
Would you feel some type of way if you found out a woman pushed you into providing a more expensive or elaborate date because that's what she thought she's worth?
Would I feel some type of way? I guess it depends on how she's wording that.
Okay.
Like, what's the name?
Like, if you initiated a coffee date and then the woman's like, oh no, I want to go to this restaurant or like this steakhouse, would that be a turnoff for you?
Today, no. But again, it's just about how she, I guess ask what she would rather. It's like maybe you kind of go into how you like to go out. Mm-hmm. Maybe not tell me what to do, but kind of like try to
lead you in that direction.
Yeah, like maybe make me change my mind, you know?
Yeah.
Now, off the top of my head, am I taking someone to a steakhouse? It has nothing to do with money. It's just more so like, I just want to fill you out. Maybe I do want to take you to a coffee shop first, or to a smoothie or juice bar first, just to see what your vibe is. Can you vibe on because I like to get up in the morning, go get a smoothie. I don't drink coffee.
And that's a significant part of your life, you know? And like, to me, if someone says like, this is my favorite coffee shop, like I want to bring you there, I think that those types of things are sentimental. So I don't overlook that for lamb chop. But it's nothing wrong with that, ladies. If you know and you're sure of yourself and that is the standard that you want to enforce, then that's fine.
I mean, me personally,
it's just not
I
me.
feel like, especially now, I guess this whole leadership thing, I feel like if I was a girl, I would allow the guy, I would like test his temperature first. If it's a first date, or if it's one of these first or second dates or whatever, I need to test his temperature. I want to see where he's taking this.
Exactly.
So if it is a coffee shop and you may not be into it, he may blow your mind. He may,
right.
He might like, oh no, you might think after like this was a great experience. Although going into it, I would have to admit that the coffee shop idea sound
a little cheap,
maybe basic,
or regular,
cheap, just basic, So,
okay, that was fun. This or that.
Yeah, this or that. What would you do? Or who would you choose?
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of, I guess, dating and this or that, it is our 3rd year of marriage. And quickly, what is something that you've learned? Yeah, what is something you learned in our 3rd year?
Oh, gosh. In our 3rd year, I learned that... I feel like I just told on camera, but I can't remember what I said.
Oh, she did just ask us that.
Yeah. I learned that when you have... Okay, I will say this. I learned for sure this year that marriage doesn't have to be hard. And I think that we can say that confidently because it's been 3 years. And everyone kind of goes in saying the first year is either the hardest year or the first year is either the honeymoon phase year, and it's just so incredible. And then reality hits you. But now we're 3 years in. and it's still incredible.
The same. It still feels like a honeymoon.
Yeah. So I think that for sure is stamped as something that I learned. And I also learned that when someone is easy to love, it makes it easier to go through rough patches. Like, I would consider you injuring your hand a rough patch. I was going to get, Yeah, so I think that it's easier to be there when you have a foundation of just a very easy flowing, loving, like, great relationship, to where when those times happen, that's motivating to you. Like, it helped me be able to be there for you. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Even though you weren't the happiest, you know, so it was a little tough, but not anything that I don't know. I feel like our foundation made it a lot easier.
Yeah. For me, it is something similar, but on the opposite side, right? I think because that happened, it has given us our answer, because it was such a pivotal time. I think not even pivotal. It was like a long time in the year. Like it's been like still going. So like almost 5 months now that this has been a issue, a thing, or whatever you want to call it. So for me, and when the injury happened, I would say that initially I thought, why did this happen? And one of the first things that came up was, am I doing enough? Am I doing enough for her? And I thought that because I'm like, well, maybe this slowed me down so that I can do enough for her. But then I literally couldn't use my arm, period. Like, I couldn't wash up or on my own for like almost a month. Yeah. All these different things, get my clothes on, just from a freaking hand injury. So I can't even imagine
a thumb injury.
Well, a thumb injury, yeah. But it took down my entire hand. Yeah. Like, so I would say for
your
me,
dominant hand. Sorry.
At that, yeah, my dominant hand. But I would say that seeing you do all that you did, and I'm not just talking about the parts of helping me, but you also like took over the things that I typically do every day around the house or outside of the house or whatever. You went on and did it kind of with no problem. Like, I'm like, dang, but I would say on a tooting my own horn type of thing, just as I thought I may have not done enough, I think that you doing all those things showed me how much love is there. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of times we're like, oh, I'm in love, or we love each other. But like, it's not until times like that where you like, nah, she loved me for sure. Mm-hmm. Like, nah, she like, we locked in. We said we was locked in, but we locked in. Yeah, we locked in. So for me, it's just that I think that I learned how locked in we are. Yeah. And I think God does have a funny way. This ain't the first time, but God has a funny way of showing me specifically that when you think something, I guess, negatively, He'll show you how much great it is when you do keep your faith in Him. Absolutely. But also, like, it's not just going to church, it's the part that's in your home, which is the church that He created for your marriage. Like, it's y'all. Yeah. So it's not a us thing, it's a we
and it
thing.
Was funny because when you told me, like, maybe this is a way for you to appreciate me more, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, maybe this is, I need to show him that I appreciate you more because of how much you do. Not me being that immature. Okay. Because of how much you do contribute to like our home and our everything. We both are just so into like what we're building. Yeah. And I was like, maybe this is like a time for me to express my appreciation in a way that maybe I never have before. Yeah. And so when you said that, I was like, that's interesting because I feel like this is the time for me to show him like a love on a deeper level. Yeah. And it's honestly like an honor to be able to do that for somebody that you love, even though it's not like ideal. But like
under the circumstances.
But like to be able to have somebody there, like I can't imagine you going through that without help.
Oh, I don't know what I would have done. I genuinely do not know what I would have done. Yeah. I don't know.
Your arm would have been stinking.
I feel like
because you wouldn't have been able to wash.
No, I would have just had to call
You would have needed like a shower scrubber thingy
I would
to
have
like go like
no,
this.
I would have had to call a girl. I would.
Oh Lord!
I might have been lying to some girl, like telling her that I love her or something. You know.
Oh my God!
I ain't gonna hold you up. That was a lot. That just was a lot.
Yeah, it was.
Well, I guess we know that we love each other very
Absolutely.
deeply on a different level now.
Yeah.
With that, I guess with that knowledge now, let's go back to before. What are some things that I guess a requirement for you to commit, for you to agree to get married? Like, what are some things going in that you required of me, or when you were just dating that was like, this just got to be?
Affection, quality time, chemistry. I wanted to know that I was your top priority. Not like honestly, not secondary to anyone. I was obviously like your relationship with Christ and that is like the top most important thing. But like outside of that, I wanted to know that I was your main priority. And it really wasn't until I felt that I knew we were going to get married. Like that was the time where I was like, okay, something's different. I feel the difference in your energy and like how much you are putting into this. And it no longer felt like I was kind of like pulling you along, which I know a lot of women feel like that. And like we were there too at some point.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
But I was not going to marry you until I felt like that was no longer a thing. And that is what we got to before we got engaged. And we had a whole year of that. Like, that was important to me to know that I didn't just want this more than you. Like, I wanted you to want it, honestly, more than I did. Like, I wanted you to want it for you. And you did. And that was, like, my biggest thing. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Mm-hmm. Was that 4 things you said?
Yeah, I said a lot. Yeah.
What's the best... out of those requirements, what's the best one that I hold? I guess trait or whatever that would be considered.
I would say that you have grown a lot in your desire to be affectionate. Like I would agree. Like I would say that's the area you've grown the most in, because at one point I felt like you didn't want to like be in my space, like close, and that bothered me. Now that's not a thing.
It's not a thing though.
Well, it's not a thing as much. I would say there are moments where, like, even with your injury, like we had a little spout of feeling like you just felt just not good, you know?
I wasn't feeling good.
And that's fine. Yeah. But it was weird for me because I'm like, he's just not being as affectionate anymore. Like, what's going on?
I really couldn't. I couldn't grab you. Couldn't grab a little booty, nothing. Like, it's my dominant
bad,
hand.
Y'all.
Yeah, down bad for sure. Not that bad, but down bad. Don't get me wrong, but
other areas we're still working
for sure. No, I think the main thing, and I'll say my top 3 real quick. I'll just say top 3 requirements I had. Mm-hmm. It was one. The easiest one is that you have a relationship with God. That's like a non-negotiable. Yeah. Really, any of them were non-negotiable. But that too, I had to see you really be who I thought you were.
Yeah, that's good.
And then the third is that for you to find, you kind of said it, but for you to see that what I'm telling you is what's the facts. It's not what you're guessing about. Like, I just wanted you to see. Yeah. And it kind of goes back to what I was about to say in response to what you just said, to kind of wrap this up. And being in your space or being affectionate, I realized that ain't nothing better than this. Yeah. Like, all that faking like you don't want to be in your girl space or a girl space, like, I mean, unless you got something else going on, like, that's cap. Like,
Yeah.
I just realized that this was more than act of I need to prove that I don't like or love someone this much. No, I had to realize, like, no, I really do like and love this person or you this much, and I want to be in your space, and I want to show people that how much I like and love you. Like, I think for me, and I had to be real with myself. I think for me, it's like the Hallmark movies that I always talk about.
Y'all, he loves Hallmark Christmas movies.
Yeah, it's a good
just
feeling.
Just the Christmas ones,
yeah,
not
just the Christmas. No, I can't watch it all year round, but I always think about that though. It's the feeling that I think that you give me reminds me of watching that, but it's up for in real life, right? I know that that's a script. I know that that's quote unquote fate, but like that's what you give me that feeling times 10, times 100, whatever you want to times it by. So I think that's why we're here, why we are doing life together. And you know, I don't know no other words to put it in, but it's the greatest when you do find the one that is absolutely the right one for you.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, like it's amazing.
And it's just like, to me, every year it gets better because of we're constantly proving to each other that we made the decision for the right reasons, and like we are who we were. Well, we've evolved. We've grown, but we still are two people who are very in love, as if we were just like getting proposed or like engaged, or like the feelings are still there. Yeah. And I think that,
but even better, like they've grown.
Yes, because we've continued to prove that we can get through life together. Yeah. Like it's even more significant now. And it was funny because we had a conversation not too long ago about like having a 10-year celebration of, maybe not necessarily a vow renewal. My granddaddy used to say, I don't got to renew my vows because I ain't broke them. Right. That's like, what am I renewing them for when I'm still like living them every single day? Right. But like to celebrate that, because it's like you have the wedding before anything really starts.
Yeah, you really ain't proved nothing.
Yeah, and it's like when you hit certain like, I mean, it doesn't even matter how many years. It could be 14 years. It doesn't have to be like a 10-year, 15, 5, 20. 10, 15, yeah. But like whatever it is, like just knowing that you've gotten through life for that long with that person by your side, and like especially if you can keep the commitment, the love, the spark, like that just makes it so much sweeter. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this was good. Yeah. I like the first episode felt great.
It did.
It felt really good, and I think we do need a celebration. Okay, maybe 5.
We'll go to the beach.
Aaron is dying for a beach vacation.
Oh my gosh! And I'm like, not even for an anniversary, just because.
Yeah, but yeah, maybe we will have, because our wedding, we got married during COVID, so we didn't have what would have been her, I guess, dream wedding in a way.
But I think in retrospect, and we can have an episode about our wedding. Yeah. I think in retrospect, it was my dream wedding.
No, because you know what I mean.
To do,
you know what I mean. It's kind of
like,
yes,
it wasn't what I pictured necessarily.
Celebration, as in our friends, the people who missed who missed us,
and who have contributed to who we are
today.
Now.
And even by the time we do the celebration, even maybe you. That we get to celebrate with them. And by that time, we will have results. We will have been through seasons of success. And let's
I have no more to sip.
I've
sipped it all away.
I guess this was successful. So
sipped it all away.
I guess that with that being said, cheers. We hope you guys enjoyed.
Yes.
Let us know what you thought.
And also just leave a comment if you want us to talk about or share about something in particular. We are pretty open, although we do keep certain things private, but like we are pretty open, and like we just love talking, and we're gonna really try to like give you guys a lot of great content. So yeah,
it's up from here. Like, I'm excited.
Yes.
I don't know about you, but I'm excited.
You know I'm excited. You Oh, I'm excited.
Nah, let's get it. Cheers.
Cheers. All right, you guys, we love you, and we will see you on the next one.
If you rock with me, then you rock with us. Y'all be easy.